The man grabbed a live snapper. He cuts open the back of the fish, effortlessly sliced it into thin pieces. What's even more amazing is that the snapper is still swimming, even when only the bones were left. It felt no pain, but sashimi wasn't the man's strong suit. He held a kitchen knife in his hand, precisely plunged the knife into the whole pig's body. A quick spin around the pig's body, the slit out through the pig's mouth. Not a drop of blood stained the blade. Then the man grabbed the pig's leg and lifted it forcefully. In an instant, the pork and bones separated. Everyone applauded his culinary skills, but after everyone ate the dishes the man made, everyone felt a stomachache. Man realizes there's something wrong with the food, but all the ingredients were prepared by himself. Only the salt sprinkled at the end was given to him by his apprentice. The man finally understood the truth. Faced with his apprentice's frame-up, the man couldn't explain. In the end, the mayor banished him from the village. Later, the man came to a restaurant to apply for a job to make a living. To test the skills of the chefs here, the man ordered a plate of boiled cabbage, but after the dish was served, the man just took a small sip of the soup and frowned. Then he told the waiter that the dish was terrible. The restaurant's head chef thought the man was here to pick a fight, so the chef invited the man to compete in cooking skills. The winner would become the head chef of the restaurant. This time, the dish they were competing to make was roast duck. Soon the two were done. Adjudicator tasted the head chef's roast duck, says it's the same high level as always. Next, when seeing the man's roast duck, Adjudicator looked disgusted. She thought roast duck should be steaming hot, but the man's roast duck was a cold lump. But when she reached out to touch it, she got scalded. At that moment, the duck skin cracked open instantly. Steam poured out from inside, and the aroma filled the air. It turned out the man had coated the surface of the duck with a layer of maltose to maintain its temperature and enhance the texture. Then Adjudicator took a bite of the duck meat. The deliciousness of the roast duck made her praise it endlessly. The head chef saw this scene. He also took a bite of the man's roast duck. Then he let out a soft sigh, put down his chopsticks, and conceded defeat. He humbly asked the man for the method of making the roast duck. It turned out that the man didn't use a knife during the cooking process because he knew the duck was cold and the meat was on the tight side. Once it came into contact with a knife, the meat fibers would break, the texture would deteriorate. So, the man asked his assistant to break the duck's bones with his palm. After hearing the man's words, the chef left the restaurant. In this way, the man became the new head chef here. The man saw that his assistant was kind-hearted and highly talented, so he wanted to take him as an apprentice and teach him culinary skills. Before long, the apprentice made a seemingly simple yet technically challenging dish of boiled cabbage in a competition. He was seen quickly chopping the chicken into chicken paste, then put it into chicken soup, stirred rapidly. After all the oil in the soup was absorbed by the chicken paste, filtered it repeatedly with a strainer, until the chicken soup became as clear as water. The selection of cabbage was even more rigorous. First, he took the tenderest heart of the cabbage, then used a silver needle on the cabbage heart, poked 200 holes in a row, then evenly poured the broth over the cabbage, put it into a steamer and simmered over low heat. After taking it out of the steamer, added tofu thinner than paper. When it was served to Adjudicator, the tofu just slowly dissolved, completely blending into the soup. After tasting it, Adjudicator couldn't help but close her eyes, repeatedly savoring the taste, unable to pull herself away and win the game. So here's the problem. Do you like Chinese food?